Think about electric vehicles you've seen so far, they're a little weird, no? Most have a certain je ne sais quoi that alludes they're not cars quite like you're used to. Some drivers find these idiosyncrasies appealing and enjoy signaling to others that they've ditched gasoline, but what about those who would buy an EV if not for those off-putting oddities? The 2022 BMW i4 eDrive40 seems built expressly for drivers with curiosity for what this electric shtick is all about but who'd rather not deal with the futurism for futurism's sake. The Bavarian brand's first all-electric hatchback sedan looks like a normal BMW, and better yet, it drives like one, too, becoming all the more palatable for the EV curious. What are you looking at? By now you may have seen a 4 Series Grand Coupe out and about. Revealed for 2022, it's the extra-dorified version of BMW's 4 Series two-door coupe and looks essentially identical to the i4. That means the i4 bears the same swine-inspired grille motif as the 4 Series, only here less justifiable. There's no engine behind it, after all, so it's just solid plastic. Some hate it, even more here, where it isn't even functional, while others won't. On the upside, the i4 likewise looks uncontroversially good from every angle except the front, sauntering along with a fastback roofline and palette of expressive paint choices. As of now, BMW makes only a 4-door i4, no coupe or convertible like the 4 Series. All of this 4 Series familiarity means the i4 isn't shouty about being an EV. Most who see it will assume it's a regular BMW, offering owners an incognito experience. Only keen observers will notice subtleties like the tweaked fascias, different wheels, missing exhaust tips, and blue trim accents that differentiate the i4. Drives like a BMW should. With the entry-level eDrive35 below it and performance-oriented M50 above, the eDrive40 model tested here represents a middle ground of the i4 range. It starts at $56,395, and this test car, equipped with niceties like premium leather, upgraded wheels, a head-up display, and expanded driver aids, totaled $64,820. In classic BMW form, the i4 eDrive40 is rear-wheel drive, those tires turned by a motor generating 335 horsepower and 317 pounds-to-foot of torque. It posted a 4.7-second 0 to 60 miles per hour time, accomplished simply by standing on both pedals then releasing the brake. This time ties the entry-level Porsche Taycan, and edges ahead of the single-motor Tesla Model 3. Today's comparable gas-powered BMW 3 Series and 4 Series models are typically equipped with 6-cylinder engines and all-wheel drive, helping them launch to 60 miles per hour in closer to 4.0 seconds. On the road, the i4 eDrive40 is quick enough to have some fun, yet not so much for things to get out of hand. That is aided by the accelerator pedal's tuning, which is damped such that only a sudden stomp reveals the motor's instant torque delivery. Otherwise, power pours out smoothly and predictably. Slowing down in EVs can be an interesting exercise, as their regenerative braking effect makes it so that only the right side pedal needs be used for speed control, press on it to go faster, and lift off to decelerate, even down to a complete stop. The i4 eDrive40 isn't one of those EVs. In any of its selectable regen strength levels, you'll press the brake pedal often, not problematic, especially considering the i4 eDrive40's satisfactory 117-foot 60 to 0 mile per hour stopping distance. Pushing the shifter over to the B setting advances the i4 to its strongest regen setting, which will slow the i4 to a stop, but not at a rate sufficient for common driving situations, which means the i4 ignores the potential benefit of one-pedal driving. In any case, this i4's balance between ride comfort and handling poise demonstrates BMW's chassis tuning expertise. This harmony makes the i4 eDrive40 a nice place to be whether you're cruising around town or find yourself on a twisty back road, and it's backed up by 0.89 grams average skid pad grip and a 25.8 second, 0.73 gram average figure 8 result, each a respectable outcome for this type of vehicle, electrified or not. A few interior gripes. Like the 4 Series Gran Coupe, the i4 lacks an enclosed trunk. Its hatchback configuration makes loading cargo easy, and when the second row seats are folded down there's space akin to that of some small SUVs. However, also like the 4 Series Gran Coupe, rear passenger space, accessed via stubby rear doors, remains rather snug, with measurements close to those in the 4 Series Coupe. Luxury cars like BMWs are expected to be quiet inside, and it's tricky to say whether this i4 is or not. In one sense it is, on account of how well it blocks out sounds from the outside world. Traffic passing by is barely audible. In another sense it isn't, due to the droning tire noise and resonances that occur over varied pavement. For example, if the smooth concrete road you're on transitions into gritty asphalt, the cabin suddenly becomes much louder. At least BMW's so-called iconic sounds, meant to emulate engine noises, provide some amusing distraction. They can be turned off. BMW is following the unfortunate industry trend of eliminating physical buttons and knobs in favor of digital controls. Although this cleans up the cabin's appearance, it complicates simple tasks. Even adjusting the HVAC temperature or fan requires poking through the touchscreen. That's not eased by BMW's new eDrive interface, which in attempting to mimic a smartphone's layout takes too much focus off the road. Despite that, the infotainment touchscreen and digital gauge display beside it are impressively large, crisp and colorful. Just one weird thing. Shod in 19-inch wheels, this i4 eDrive40 is EPA rated at 282 miles of range. Models with 18-inch wheels get 301 miles of range. Helpfully, the range estimate shown in the car's gauge display constantly updates based on your driving style, giving you an accurate picture of how much farther you can go before plugging in. When you stop to recharge, it does so at a fairly speedy 200 kilowatts, meaning it can make the most of public level 3 DC fast chargers common today. BMW estimates a charge time of 31 minutes for going from 10% charge to 80% under ideal conditions on such a charger. Expect that to take several hours on a level 2 home charger. This is the strangest thing about the i4 eDrive40, the fact you have to plug it in. Otherwise, how it looks, functions, and drives is all remarkably familiar. It might even lull you into mistakenly pulling into a gas station. The concept of recharging a car still seems strange to many, but otherwise this BMW is compellingly approachable, if you're interested in making the switch. 2022 BMW i4 base price $56,395.